Caesar, and Cleopatra. A history by Bernard Shaw, with Alan Badel as Caesar and Sarah Badel as Cleopatra.
Peace, be silent, and hearken unto me, ye quaint little islanders. Know that I am Ra, who was once in Egypt, a mighty god. I ask you not for worship, but for silence. Let not your men speak, nor your women cough. For I am come to draw you back 2,000 years over the graves of 60 generations. Hearken to me then, O ye compulsorily educated ones. Know that even as there is an old England and a new, and ye stand perplexed between the twain, so in the days when I was worshipped was there an old Rome and a new, and men standing perplexed between them. Now mark me, that ye may understand what ye are presently to hear. Whilst the Romans still stood between the old Rome and the new, there arose among them a mighty soldier, Pompey the Great. And Pompey held by the old Rome, in which only soldiers could become great. But the gods turned to the new Rome, in which any man with wit enough could become what he would. And Pompey's friend Julius Caesar was on the side of the gods, for he saw that Rome had passed beyond the control of the little old Romans. And thus it fell out between the old Rome and the new, that Caesar said, unless I break the law of old Rome, I cannot take my share in ruling her, and the gift of ruling that the gods gave me will perish without fruit. But Pompey said, the law is above all, and if thou break it, thou shalt die. Then, said Caesar, I will break it, kill me who can. And he broke it. And Pompey went for him, as ye say, with a great army to slay him and uphold the old Rome. So Caesar fled across the Adriatic Sea, and Pompey followed Caesar and overcame him with all the majesty of old Rome, and stood over him and over the whole world. And when Caesar was brought down to utter nothingness, he made a last stand to die honorably, and did not despair, for he said, against me there is Pompey and the old Rome, and the law and the legions, all against me. But high above these are the gods, and Pompey is a fool. And the gods laughed and approved, and on the field of Pharsalia the impossible came to pass. The blood and iron ye pin your faith on fell before the spirit of man, and Pompey's power crumbled in his hand, even as the power of imperial Spain crumbled when it was set against your fathers in the days when England was little, and knew her own mind, and had a mind to know, instead of a circulation of newspapers. And now, would ye know the end of Pompey? Or will ye sleep while a god speaks? Heed my words well. For Pompey went even to Egypt, where there was a Roman occupation. And Caesar pursued Pompey to Egypt, a Roman fleeing and a Roman pursuing, dog eating dog. And the Egyptians said, lo, now behold 2 Romes, Pompey's Rome and Caesar's Rome. To which of the twain shall we pretend to be loyal? So they turned in their perplexity to a soldier that had once served Pompey, and that knew the ways of Rome, and was full of her lusts. And this soldier, whose name was Lucius Septimus, of whom ye shall presently hear, replied, Ye shall diligently consider which is the bigger dog of the two, and ye shall kill the other dog for his sake, and thereby earn his favour. And the Egyptians said, Thy counsel is expedient. But if we kill a man outside the law, we set ourselves in the place of the gods, and this we dare not do. But thou, being a Roman, art accustomed to this kind of killing, for thou hast imperial instincts. Wilt thou therefore kill the lesser dog for us? And he said, I will. Now, when Pompey came, he came alone in a little galley, putting his trust in the law and the constitution. And it was plain to the people of Egypt that Pompey was now but a very small dog. So when he set his foot on the shore, he was greeted by his old comrade, Lucius Septimus, who welcomed him with one hand, and with the other smote off his head, and kept it as it were a pickled cabbage, to make a present to Caesar. And mankind shuddered, but the gods laughed. For Septimus was but a knife that Pompey had sharpened. Therefore, I bid you beware, ye who would all be Pompey's if ye dared. For war is a wolf that may come to your own door. Are ye impatient with me? Do ye crave for a story of an unchaste woman? Hath the name of Cleopatra tempted ye to listen? Ye foolish ones, Cleopatra is as yet but a child that is whipped by her nurse. And what I am about to show you, for the good of your souls, is how Caesar, seeking Pompey in Egypt, found Cleopatra, and how he received that present of a pickled cabbage that was once the head of Pompey, and what things happened between the old Caesar and the child queen before he left Egypt and battled his way back to Rome, to be slain there as Pompey was slain, by men in whom the spirit of Pompey still lived. All this ye shall hear, and ye shall marvel after your ignorant manner, that men 20 centuries ago were already just such as you, and spoke and lived as ye speak and live, no worse and no better, no wiser and no sillier. And the 2,000 years that have passed are to me, the god Ra, but a moment. Nor is this day any other than the day in which Caesar set foot in the land of my people. And now I leave you, for ye are a dull folk, and instruction is wasted on you. Settle ye therefore in your seats, and keep silent. For ye are about to hear a man speak, and a great man he was, as ye count greatness. And fear not that I shall speak to you again. The rest of the story must ye learn from them that lived it. Farewell, and do not presume to applaud me.
Hail, Sphinx. Salutation from Julius Caesar. I have wandered in many lands, seeking the lost regions from which my birth into this world exiled me, and the company of creatures such as I myself. I have found flocks and pastures, men and cities, but no other Caesar. No heir native to me, no man kindred to me. None who can do my day's deed and think my night's thought. In the little world yonder, Sphinx, my place is as high as yours in this great desert. Only I wander and you sit still. I conquer and you endure. I work and wonder, you watch and wait. I look up and am dazzled, look down and am darkened, look round and am puzzled, whilst your eyes never turn from looking out of the world, to the lost region, the home from which we have strayed. Sphinx, you and I, strangers to the race of men, are no strangers to one another. Have I not been conscious of you and of this place since I was born? Rome is a madman's dream. This is my reality. These starry lamps of yours I have seen from afar in Gaul, in Britain, in Spain, in Thessaly, signalling great secrets to some eternal sentinel below, whose post I never could find. And here at last is their sentinel, an image of the constant and immortal part of my life, silent, full of thoughts, alone in the silver desert. Sphinx, Sphinx, I have climbed mountains at night to hear in the distance the stealthy footfall of the winds that chase your sands in forbidden play. Our invisible children, O Sphinx, laughing in whispers. My way hither was the way of destiny, for I am he of whose genius you are the symbol, part brute, part woman, and part god. Nothing of man in me at all. Have I read your riddle, Sphinx?
Old gentleman.
Oh, immortal gods!
Old gentleman, don't run away.
Old gentleman, don't run away! This? To Julius Caesar?
Old gentleman!
Sphinx, you presume on your centuries. I am younger than you, though your voice is but a girl's voice as yet.
Climb up here quickly, or the Romans will come and eat you.
A child at its breast. A divine child.
Come up quickly. You must get up at its side and creep round.
Who are you?
Cleopatra, Queen of Egypt.
Queen of the Gypsies, you mean?
You must not be disrespectful to me, or the Sphinx will let the Romans eat you. Come up. It is quite cosy here.
What a dream. What a magnificent dream. Only let me not wake, and I will conquer 10 continents to pay for dreaming it to the end.
Take care. Oh, that's right. Now sit down. You may have its other paw. It is very powerful and will protect us. Oh, but it would not take any notice of me or keep me company. I'm glad you have come. I was very lonely. Did you happen to see a white cat anywhere?
Have you lost one?
Yes, the sacred white cat. Is it not dreadful? I brought him here to sacrifice him to the Sphinx, but when we got a little way from the city, a black cat called him, and he jumped out of my arms and ran away to it. Do you think that the black cat can have been my great-great-great-grandmother?
Your great-great-great-grandmother? Well, why not? Nothing would surprise me on this night of nights.
I think it must have been. My great-grandmother's great-grandmother was a black kitten of the sacred white cat, and the River Nile made her his 7th wife. That is why my hair's so wavy. And I always want to be let do as I like, no matter whether it is the will of the gods or not. That is because my blood is made with Nile water.
What are you doing here at this time of night? Do you live here?
Of course not. I am the Queen. And I shall live in the palace at Alexandria when I have killed my brother, who drove me out of it. When I am old enough, I shall do just what I like. I shall be able to poison the slaves and see them wriggle, and pretend to Ftatateeta, my nurse, that she is going to be put into the fiery furnace.
Meanwhile, why are you not at home and in bed?
Because the Romans are coming to eat us all. You are not at home and in bed either.
Yes, I am. I live in a tent, and I'm now in that tent, fast asleep and dreaming. You suppose that I believe you are real?
Oh, you are a funny old gentleman. I like you.
Ah, that spoils the dream. Why don't you dream that I'm young?
I wish you were. Only I think I should be more afraid of you. I like men, especially young men with round, strong arms, but I'm afraid of them. You are old and rather thin and stringy, but you have a nice voice, and I like to have somebody to talk to, though I think you are a little mad. It is the moon that makes you talk to yourself in that silly way.
What? You heard that, did you? I was saying my prayers to the Great Sphinx.
But this isn't the Great Sphinx.
What?
This is only a dear little kitten of a sphinx. Why, the Great Sphinx is so big that it has a temple between its paws. This is my pet sphinx. Tell me, do you think the Romans have any sorcerers who could take us away from the Sphinx by magic?
Why? Are you afraid of the Romans?
Oh, they would eat us if they caught us. They are barbarians. Their chief is called Julius Caesar.
Ah.
His father was a tiger and his mother a burning mountain, and his nose is like an elephant's trunk. They all have long noses and ivory tusks and little tails and 7 arms with 100 arrows in each, and they live on human flesh.
Would you like me to show you a real Roman?
No, you are frightening me.
No matter, this is only a dream.
Oh, it is not a dream. It's not a dream. See this pin?
Stop it! How dare you? Oh.
You said you were dreaming. Well, I only wanted to show you.
Oh, come, don't cry. The Queen mustn't cry.
I'm afraid. Afraid of the Romans.
Cleopatra, can you see my face well?
Yes, it is so white in the moonlight.
Are you sure it is the moonlight that makes me look whiter than an Egyptian? Do you notice that I have a rather long nose?
Oh!
It is a Roman nose, Cleopatra.
Oh. Bite him in two, Sphinx! Bite him in two! I meant to sacrifice the white cat. I did, indeed, I did.
Cleopatra, shall I teach you a way to prevent Caesar from eating you?
Oh, do. I will steal Ftatateeta's jewels and give them to you.
Peace, my child. Caesar never eats women.
What?
But he eats girls.
Oh.
And cats. Now, you are a silly little girl, and you are descended from the black kitten. You are both a girl and a cat.
And will he eat me?
Yes, unless you make him believe that you are a woman.
Oh, you must get a sorcerer to make a woman of me. Are you a sorcerer?
Perhaps, but it will take a long time. And this very night you must stand face to face with Caesar in the palace of your fathers.
No, I daren't.
Whatever dread may be in your soul, however terrible Caesar may be to you, you must confront him as a brave woman and a great queen, and you must feel no fear. If your hand shakes, if your voice quavers, then night and death. But if he thinks you worthy to rule, he will set you on the throne by his side and make you the real ruler of Egypt.
No, he will find me out. He will find me out.
He is easily deceived by women. Their eyes dazzle him, and he sees them not as they are, but as he wishes them to appear to him.
Then we will cheat him. I will put on Ftatateeta's headdress. He will think me quite an old woman.
If you do that, he will eat you at one mouthful. Hark!
What is that?
Caesar's voice.
Let us run away. Come!
You are safe with me until you stand on your throne to receive Caesar. Now, lead me to your palace.
Oh, I will. Oh, come! The gods are angry. Do you feel the earth shaking?
It is the tread of Caesar's legions.
This way, quickly. And let us look for the white cat as we go. It is he that has turned you into a Roman.
Incorrigible. Oh, incorrigible. Away! What place is this?
This is where I sit on the throne when I'm allowed to wear my crown and robes.
Order the slave to light the lamps.
Oh, do you think I may?
Of course, you are the queen. Go on.
You light all the lamps.
Stop! Who is this you're over there? And how dare you order the lamps to be lighted without my permission?
Who is she?
Ftatateeta.
Chief nurse to
I speak to the queen. Be silent. Is this how your servants know their places? Send her away. And you, slave, do as the queen has bidden. Light the lamps. You are the queen. Send her away.
Ftatateeta, dear, you must go away just for a little.
You are not commanding her to go away. You are begging her. You are no queen. You will be eaten. Farewell.
No, don't leave me.
A Roman does not stay with queens who are afraid of their slaves.
I'm not afraid, indeed, I'm not afraid.
We shall see who's afraid here, Cleopatra.
On your knees, woman. Am I also a child that you dare trifle with me? Slave, can you cut off her head? Have you remembered yourself, mistress?
O Queen, forget not thy servant in the days of thy greatness.
Go! Begone! Go away! Give me something to veto with!
Scratch kitten, do you?
I will beat somebody. I will beat him! There! Oh, I am a real queen at last! A real queen! Cleopatra the queen! Oh, I love you for making me a queen.
The queens love only kings.
I will make all the men I love kings. I will make you a king. I will have many young kings with round, strong arms, and when I am tired of them, I will whip them to death. But you shall always be my king, my nice, kind, wise, good old king.
Oh, my wrinkles, and my child's heart. You will be the most dangerous of all Caesar's conquests.
Caesar? I forgot Caesar. You will tell him that I am a queen, will you not? A real queen. Listen, let us run away and hide until Caesar is gone.
If you fear Caesar, you are no true queen. And though you were to hide beneath a pyramid, he would go straight to it and lift it with one hand and then...
Oh.
Be afraid if you dare. Aha! Caesar approaches the throne of Cleopatra. Come, take your place. Ho there, Ftatateeta! How do you call your slaves?
Clap your hands.
Bring the queen's robes and her crown and her women, and prepare her.
Yes, the crown, Ftatateeta. I shall wear the crown.
For whom must the queen put on her state?
For a citizen of Rome, a king of kings, Ftatateeta.
How dare you ask questions? Don't do as you are told. Caesar will know that I am a queen when he sees my crown and robes, will he not?
No. How shall he know that you're not a slave dressed up in the queen's ornaments?
You must tell him.
He will not ask me. He will know Cleopatra by her pride, her courage, her majesty, and her beauty.
Oh.
Are you trembling?
No, no.
Of all the queen's women, these two alone are left, the rest are fled.
Good. Clear enough. Poor Caesar generally has to dress himself.
The Queen of Egypt is not a Roman barbarian. Be brave, my nursling. Hold up your head before this stranger.
There. The crown. Ah. Is it sweet or bitter to be a queen, Cleopatra?
Bitter.
Cast out fear, and you will conquer Caesar. Tota! Are the Romans at hand?
They are at hand, and the guard has fled.
The queen must face Caesar alone. Answer, so be it.
So be it.
Good. You are my nursling. If you have said so be it, and if you die for it, you must make the queen's word good.
Hail, Caesar!
It is you! You!
Make way for the king! Ptolemy, the king!
The king of Egypt has a word to speak.
Peace for the king's word.
Take notice of this, all of you. I am the firstborn son of Auletes the flute blower, who was your king. My sister Berenice drove him from his throne and reigned in his stead, but
But the gods would not suffer.
yes, the gods would not suffer. I forget what the gods would not suffer.
Let Pothinus, the king's guardian, speak for the king.
The king wished to say that the gods would not suffer the impiety of his sister to go unpunished.
Yes, I remember the rest of it. Therefore the gods sent a stranger, one Mark Antony, a Roman captain of horsemen, across the sands of the desert, and he set my father again upon the throne. And my father took Berenice, my sister, and struck her head off. And now that my father is dead, yet another of his daughters, my sister Cleopatra, would snatch the kingdom from me and reign in my place. But the gods would not suffer. The gods would not suffer.
Will not maintain.
Oh, yes. Will not maintain such iniquity. They will give her head to the axe, even as her sisters. But with the help of the witch Ftatateeta, she hath cast a spell on the Roman Julius Caesar to make him uphold her false pretence to rule in Egypt. Take notice, then, that I will not suffer. That I will not suffer. What is it that I will not suffer?
The king will not suffer a foreigner to take from him the throne of our Egypt. Yeah. Tell the king, Achillas, how many soldiers and horsemen follow the Roman?
Let the king's general speak.
But 2 Roman legions, O king. 3,000 soldiers and scarce 1,000 horsemen.
Peace! Peace, ho! Caesar approaches!
The king permits the Roman commander to enter.
Caesar?
Which is the king? The man or the boy?
I am Pothinus, the guardian of my lord here, the king.
Ah, so you are the king. Dull work at your age, eh? Your servant, Pothinus.
Caesar?
And this gentleman?
That is Achillas, the king's general.
A general, eh? I'm a general myself, but I began too old. Ah, too old. Health and many victories, Achilles.
As the gods will, Caesar.
And you, sir, are...
Theodotus, the king's tutor.
You teach men how to be kings, Theodotus. That is very clever of you. And this place?
The Alexandrian council chamber of the chancellors of the king's treasury, Caesar.
Ah, that reminds me. I want some money.
The king's treasury is poor, Caesar.
Yes. I noticed that there is but one chair in it.
Oh.
Bring a chair there, some of you, for Caesar.
Caesar.
No, my boy. That is your chair of state. Sit down, my boy. Now, Pothinus, to business.
Caesar?
I am badly in want of money.
My master would say that there is a lawful debt due to Rome by Egypt, contracted by the king's deceased father to the triumvirate, and that it is Caesar's duty to his country to require immediate payment.
Ah, I forgot. I have not made my companions known here. Pothinus, this is Britannus, my secretary. He is an islander from the western end of the world, a day's voyage from Gaul.
Greetings.
This gentleman is Rufio, my comrade in arms.
Greetings.
Pothinus, I want 1,600 talents.
What? 40 million sesterces? Ah, impossible. There is not so much money in the king's treasury.
Only 1,600 talents, Pothinus. Why count it in sesterces? A sestertius is only worth a loaf of bread.
And a talent is worth a racehorse. Oh, I say it is impossible. We've been at strife here, Caesar, because the king's sister Cleopatra falsely claims his throne. The king's taxes have not been collected for a whole year.
Yes, they have, Pothinus. My officers have been collecting them all morning.
What?
Oh.
You must pay, Pothinus. Why waste words? You're getting off cheaply enough.
Is it possible that Caesar, the conqueror of the world, has time to occupy himself with such a trifle as our taxes?
My friend, taxes are the chief business of a conqueror of the world.
Then take warning, Caesar. This day the treasures of the temple and the gold of the king's treasury shall be sent to the mint to be melted down for our ransom in the sight of our people. They shall see us sitting under bare walls and drinking from wooden cups, and their wrath be on your head, Caesar, if you force us to this sacrilege.
Do not fear, Pothinus. The people know how well wine tastes in wooden cups. In return for your bounty, I will settle this dispute about the throne for you, if you will. What say you?
If I say no, will that hinder you?
No.
You say the matter has been at issue for a year, Pothinus. May I have 10 minutes at it?
You will do your pleasure, doubtless.
Good. But first, let us have Cleopatra here.
She is not in Alexandria. She is fled into Syria.
I think not. Call Ftatateeta.
Oh, there, Ftatateeta!
Who pronounces the name of Ftatateeta, the queen's chief nurse?
Nobody can pronounce it Tota except yourself. Where is your mistress?
What?
Will the queen favour us with her presence for a moment?
Am I to behave like a queen?
Yes.
Then I must have the throne. Ptolemy?
Caesar, this is how she treats me always. If If I am a king, why is she allowed to take everything from me?
You are not to be king, you little crybaby. You are to be eaten by the Romans.
You come here, my boy, and you stand by me.
Oh, take your throne. I don't want it. Go this instant and sit down in your place.
Go, Ptolemy. Always take a throne when it's offered to you.
I hope you'll have the good sense to follow your own advice when we return to Rome, Caesar.
Pothinus.
Caesar.
Are you not going to speak to me?
Be quiet. Open your mouth again before I give you leave, and you shall be eaten.
I'm not afraid. A queen must not be afraid. Eat my husband there if you like. He is afraid.
Your husband? What do you mean?
That little thing.
Caesar, you are a stranger here and not conversant with our laws. The kings and queens of Egypt may not marry except with their own royal blood. Ptolemy and Cleopatra are born king and consort just as they are born brother and sister.
Caesar, this is not proper.
How?
Pardon him, Theodotus. Britannus is a barbarian and thinks that the customs of his tribe and island are the laws of nature.
On the contrary, Caesar, it is these Egyptians who are barbarians, and you do wrong to encourage them. I say it is a scandal.
Scandal or not, my friend, it opens the gates of peace. Pothinus.
Caesar.
Hear what I propose.
Here, Caesar, there.
Ptolemy and Cleopatra shall reign jointly in Egypt.
What of the king's younger brother and Cleopatra's younger sister?
There is another little Ptolemy, Caesar, so they tell me.
Well, that little Ptolemy can marry the other sister, and we will make them both a present of Cyprus.
Oh, Cyprus is of no use to anybody.
No matter, you shall have it for the sake of peace.
Peace with honour, Pothinus.
Oh, Caesar, be honest. The money you demand is the price of our freedom. Take it and leave us to settle our own affairs. Egypt for the Egyptians! Egypt for the Egyptians!
Egypt for the Egyptians! Do you forget that there is a Roman army of occupation here, left by Aulus Gabinius, when he set up your toy king for you?
And now under my command. I am the Roman general here, Caesar.
And also the Egyptian general, Achillas.
That is so, Caesar.
So you can make war on the Egyptians in the name of Rome, and on the Romans, on me if necessary, in the name of Egypt.
That is so, Caesar.
And which side are you on at present, if I may presume to ask, General?
On the side of the right and of the gods.
How many men have you got?
That will appear when I take the field.
Caesar has been defeated before and may be defeated again. A few weeks ago, Caesar was flying for his life before Pompey.
What can you do with 4,000 men?
And without money, away with
you. Egypt for the Egyptians!
Egypt
for the Egyptians!
Why do you let them talk to you like that, Caesar? Are you afraid?
Why, my dear, what they say is quite true.
But if you go away, I shall not be queen.
I shall not go away until you are queen.
Achillas, if you're not a fool, you will take that girl whilst she is under your hand.
Why not take Caesar as well, Achillas?
Well said, Rufio. Why not?
Try, Achillas.
Guard there! Treachery!
You are Caesar's prisoners, all of you.
Oh, no, by no means. Caesar's guests, gentlemen.
Won't you cut their heads off?
What? Cut off your brother's head?
Why not? He would cut off mine if he got the chance. Wouldn't you, Ptolemy?
I would. I will too when I grow up.
Caesar, if you attempt to detain us...
He will succeed. We hold the palace, the beach, and the eastern harbour. The road to Rome is open, and you shall travel it, if Caesar chooses.
I could do no less, Pothinus, to secure the retreat of my own son.
This is a trick. I am the king's guardian. I refuse to stir. I stand on my right here. Where is your right?
It is in Rufio's scabbard, Pothinus. I may not be able to keep it there if you wait too long.
And this is Roman justice.
But not Roman gratitude, I hope.
Gratitude? Am I in your debt for any service, gentlemen?
Is Caesar's life of so little account to him that he forgets that we have saved it?
My life? Is that all?
Your life, your laurels, your future.
It is true, Caesar. I can call a witness to prove that but for us, the Roman army of occupation led by Pompey, the greatest soldier in the world, would now have Caesar at its mercy. Ho there! Lucius Septimus! If my voice can reach you, come forth and testify before Caesar.
No.
Yes, I say, Let the military tribune bear witness.
Bear witness, Lucius Septimus. Caesar came hither in pursuit of his foe. Did we shelter his foe?
As Pompey's foot touched the Egyptian shore, his head fell by the stroke of my sword.
Under the eyes of his wife and child. Remember that, Caesar. They saw it from the ship he had just left. We have given you a full and sweet measure of vengeance.
Vengeance! Vengeance! Oh, if I could stoop to vengeance, what would I not exact from you as the price of this murdered man's blood? Was he not my son-in-law, my ancient friend, for 20 years the master of great Rome, for 30 years the compeller of victory? Did not I, as a Roman, share his glory? Was the fate that forced us to fight for the mastery of the world of our making? Am I Julius Caesar, or am I a wolf, that you fling to me the grey head of the old soldier, the laurelled conqueror, the mighty Roman, treacherously struck down by this callous ruffian, and then claim my gratitude for it? Begone! You fill me with horror.
You have seen severed heads before, Caesar, and severed right hands too, I think. Some thousands of them in Gaul, after you vanquished Vercingetorix. Did you spare him with all your clemency? Was that vengeance?
No, by the gods would that it had been. Vengeance is at least human. No, I say. Those severed right hands and the brave Vercingetorix basely strangled in a vault beneath the Capitol were a wise severity, a necessary protection to the Commonwealth, a duty of statesmanship, follies and fictions 10 times bloodier than honest vengeance. What a fool was I then, to think that men's lives should be at the mercy of such fools. Lucius Septimius, pardon me. Why should the slayer of Vercingetorix rebuke the slayer of Pompey? You are free to go with the rest. Or stay, if you will. I will find a place for you in my service.
The odds are against you, Caesar. I go.
That means that he is a Republican.
And what are you?
A Caesarian, like all Caesar's soldiers.
But Lucius, believe me, Caesar is no Caesarian. Were Rome a true republic, then was Caesar the first of republicans. But you've made your choice. Farewell.
Farewell. Come, Achillas, Pothinus, Theodotus, all of you, whilst there is yet time.
Yes, whilst there is yet
Caesar, this is not good sense. Your duty to Rome demands that her enemies should be prevented from doing further mischief.
It's no use talking to him, Britannus. You may save your breath to cool your porridge. But mark this, Caesar. Clemency is very well for you. But what is it for your soldiers who have to fight tomorrow, the men you spared yesterday? You may give what orders you please, but I tell you that your next victory will be a massacre, thanks to your clemency. I, for one, will take no prisoners. Then I shall never have to fight them again. Now, with your leave, I will see these gentry off the premises.
Caesar?
What? Have they left the boy alone? Oh, shame, shame.
Come, your majesty.
Is he turning me out of my palace?
Well, you're welcome to stay, if you wish.
Go, my boy. I will not harm you. But you will be safer away among your friends. Here, you're in the lion's mouth.
It is not the lion I fear, but this jackal.
Brave boy.
Little silly. You think that very clever.
Britannus, attend the king, and give him in charge to that Pothinus fellow.
Sir.
And this piece of goods, what's to be done with her? However, I suppose I may leave that to you.
Did you mean me to go with the rest?
You're free to do just as you please, Cleopatra.
Then you do not care whether I stay or not?
Of course, I'd rather you stayed.
Much rather?
Much rather.
Then I consent to stay because I am asked. But I do not want to, mind.
That is quite understood. Ftatateeta!
Her name is not Ftatateeta. It is Ftatateeta. Ftatateeta!
Oh, Ftatateeta will forgive the erring tongue of a Roman. Tota. The queen will hold her state here in Alexandria. Engage women to attend upon her and do all that is needful.
Am I then the mistress of the Queen's household?
No, I am the mistress of the Queen's household. Go and do as you are told, or I would have you thrown into the Nile this very afternoon to poison the poor crocodiles.
Oh, no.
Oh, yes. You are very sentimental, Caesar, but you are clever. And if you do as I tell you, you will soon learn to govern.
Oh. Cleopatra, I really think I must eat you after all.
You must not talk to me now as if I were a child.
You have been growing up since the Sphinx introduced us the other night. And you think you know more than I do already?
Oh, no, that would be very silly of me. Of course I know that, but are you angry with me?
No.
Well, then why are you so thoughtful?
I have work to do, Cleopatra.
Work? You're tired of talking to me, and that is your excuse to get away from me.
Well, another minute. But then, work.
Work? What nonsense! You must remember that you are a king now. I have made you one. Kings don't work.
Oh, and who told you that, little kitten, huh?
Well, my father was king of Egypt, and he never worked. But he was a great king, and he cut off my sister's head because she rebelled against him and took the throne from him.
Well, and how did he get his throne back again?
I will tell you. A beautiful young man with strong, round arms came over the desert with many horsemen and slew my sister's husband and gave my father back his throne. I was only 12 then. Oh, I wish he would come again now that I am queen. I would make him my husband.
It might be managed, perhaps. For it was I who sent that beautiful young man to help your father.
You know him?
I do.
Oh, has he come with you?
No, Cleopatra.
Oh, I wish he had. I wish he had. If only I were a little older, so that he might not think me a mere kitten as you do. But perhaps that is because you are old. He is many, many years younger than you, is he not?
He is somewhat younger.
Would he be my husband, do you think, if I asked him?
Very likely.
But I should not like to ask him. Could you not persuade him to ask me, without knowing that I wanted him to?
My poor child.
Well, why do you say that as if you were sorry for me? Does he love somebody else?
I'm afraid so.
Oh, then I shall not be his first love.
Not quite the first. He is greatly admired by women.
Oh, I wish I could be the first. But if he loves me, I will make him kill all the rest. Tell me, is he still beautiful? Do his strong, round arms shine in the sun like marble?
He is in excellent condition, considering how much he eats and drinks.
Oh, you must not say common earthly things about him, for I love him. He is a god.
He's a great captain of horsemen, and swifter of foot than any other Roman.
What is his real name?
His real name?
Yes, I always call him Horus, because Horus is the most beautiful of our gods. But I want to know his real name.
His name is Mark Antony.
Mark Antony. Mark Antony. Mark Antony. Oh, what a beautiful name. Oh, how I love you for sending him to help my father. Did you love my father very much?
No, my child. But your father, as you say, never worked. I always work. So when he lost his crown, he had to promise me 16,000 talents to get it back for him.
Did he ever pay you?
Not in full.
He was quite right. It was too dear. The whole world is not worth 16,000 talents.
That is perhaps true, Cleopatra. But those Egyptians who work paid as much of it as he could drag from them. The rest is still due. But as I most likely shall not get it, I must go back to my work, so you must run away for a little and send my secretary to me.
No, I want to stay and hear you talk about Mark Antony.
But if I do not get to work, Pothinus and the rest of them will cut us off from the harbour, and then the way from Rome will be blocked.
No matter. I don't want you to go back to Rome.
But you want Mark Antony to come from it.
Oh, yes. I forgot. Go quickly and work, Caesar, and keep the way over the sea open for my Mark Antony.
Caesar! Caesar!
What now?
This wound, Caesar, and 2 of my comrades killed in the marketplace.
Aye? Why?
There is an army come to Alexandria calling itself the Roman army.
The Roman army of occupation? Aye?
Commanded by one Achillas.
Well?
The citizens rose against us when the army entered the gates. I was with 2 others in the marketplace when the news came. They set upon us, but I cut my way out. And here I am.
Good. I'm glad to see you alive. Rufio.
Caesar.
Rufio, we're besieged.
What, already?
Now or tomorrow, what's the matter? We shall be besieged.
Caesar?
Yes, Britannus, I know. Give the word to turn out on the beach and stand by the boats. And you get your wounds attended to.
Caesar.
Rufio, we have some ships in the West Harbour. Burn them.
Burn them?
Take every boat we have in the East Harbour and seize the Pharos, that island with the lighthouse. Leave half our men behind to hold the beach and the key outside this palace. That is the way home.
Are we to give up the city?
We have not got it, Rufio. This palace we have, and what is that building next door?
The theatre.
We shall have that too. It commands the Strand. For the rest, Egypt for the Egyptians.
Well, you know best, I suppose. Is that all?
That is all. And are those ships burnt yet?
Be easy. I shall waste no more time.
Caesar, Pothinus demands speech of you. In my opinion, he needs a lesson. His manner is most insolent.
Where is he?
He waits without.
Ho there! Admit Pothinus!
Caesar,
Well, Pothinus?
I have brought you our ultimatum, Caesar.
Ultimatum. The door was open. You should have gone through it before you declared war. You're my prisoner now.
I, your prisoner? Do you know, Caesar, that you are in Alexandria, and that King Ptolemy, with an army outnumbering your little troop 100 to 1, is in possession of Alexandria?
Well, my friend, get out if you can. And tell your friends not to kill any more Romans in the marketplace. Otherwise, my soldiers who do not share my celebrated clemency will probably kill you. Britannus, pass the word to the guard, and fetch my armour.
Caesar.
Well, Rufio?
See, there.
What? Ablaze already? That's impossible.
Yes, 5 good ships and a barge laden with oil grappled to each. But it is not my doing. The Egyptians have saved me the trouble. They've captured the West Harbour.
And the East Harbour. The lighthouse, Rufio.
Oh, can I embark a legion in 5 minutes? The first cohort is already on the beach. We can do no more. If you want faster work, come and do it yourself.
Good. Patience, Rufio.
Patience. Who is impatient here? You or I? Would I be here if I could not oversee them from that balcony?
Forgive me, Rufio, and hurry them as much as you can.
Horror unspeakable. Woe, lads.
What now?
Who is slain?
Slain. Worse than the death of 10,000 men, loss irreparable to mankind.
What has happened, man?
The fire has spread from your ships. The first of the 7 wonders of the world perishes. The library of Alexandria is in flames.
Is that all?
All? Caesar, will you go down to posterity as a barbarous soldier too ignorant to know the value of books?
Theodotus, I am an author myself, and I tell you that it is better that the Egyptians should live their lives than dream them away with the help of books.
Oh, Caesar, once in 10 generations the world gains an immortal book.
If it did not flatter mankind, the common executioner would burn it.
Without history, death will lay you beside your meanest soldier.
Death will do that in any case. I ask no better grave.
But what is burning there is the memory of mankind.
A shameful memory. Let it burn.
Will you destroy the past?
Aye, and build the future with its ruins. But hearken, Theodotus, teacher of kings. You who valued Pompey's head no more than a shepherd values an onion, and who now kneel to me with tears in your old eyes to plead for a few sheepskins scrawled with errors. I cannot spare you a man or a bucket of water, but you shall pass freely out of the palace. Away with you to Achillas, and borrow his legions to put out the fire.
You understand, Theodotus. I remain a prisoner.
A prisoner?
You stay to talk whilst the memory of mankind is burning? Ho there! Pass Theodotus out! Away with you!
Pothinus, I must go to save the library.
Follow him, Pothinus.
Caesar!
But only to the gate. And bid him urge your people to kill no more of my soldiers for your sake.
My life will cost you dear if you take it, Caesar.
All ready there?
All ready! We wait for Caesar!
Tell them Caesar is coming, the rogues. Britannicus!
Push off! All except the longboat! Stand by to embark Caesar's guard there! Where are those Egyptians? Is this more clemency? Have you let them go?
I've let Theodotus go to save the library. We must respect literature.
Folly on folly's head. I believe if you could bring back all the dead of Spain, Gaul, and Thessaly to life, you would do it. That we might have the trouble of fighting them over again.
Might not the gods destroy the world if their only thought were to be at peace next year? Besides, my friend, every Egyptian we imprison means imprisoning 2 Roman soldiers to guard him. Eh?
I might have known there was some fox's trick behind your fine talking.
Is Britannus asleep? I sent him for my armour an hour ago. Britannicus, thou British islander! Britannicus!
I am going to dress you, Caesar.
Ah.
Sit down. These Roman helmets are so becoming. Take off your wreath. Oh.
What are you laughing at?
You're bald.
Cleopatra.
So that is why you wear the wreath, to hide it.
Peace, Egyptian. They are the bays of the conqueror.
Peace thou, islander. You should rub your head with strong spirits of sugar, Caesar. That'll make it grow.
Cleopatra, do you like to be reminded that you are very young?
No.
Well, neither do I like to be reminded that I am middle-aged. Let me give you 10 of my superfluous years. That will make you 26 and leave me only... Well, no matter. Is it a bargain?
Agreed. 26, mind. There. Oh, how nice. You look only about 50 in it.
Oh, you must not speak in this manner to Caesar.
Is it true that when Caesar caught you on that island, you were painted all over blue?
Blue is the colour worn by all Britons of good standing. In war, we stain our bodies blue, so that though our enemies may strip us of our clothes and our lives, they cannot strip us of our respectability.
Let me hang this sword on. Now you look splendid. Have they made any statues of you in Rome?
Yes, many statues.
You must send for one and give it to me.
Now, Caesar, have you done talking? The moment your foot is aboard, there will be no holding our men back. The boats will race one another for the lighthouse.
Is the sword well set today, Britannicus? At Pharsalia it was as blunt as a barrel hoop.
It will split one of the Egyptian hairs today, Caesar. I have set it myself.
Oh, you are not really going into battle to be killed.
No, Cleopatra. No man goes to battle to be killed.
But they do get killed. My sister's husband was killed in battle. Oh, please, please, don't go. What'll happen to me if you never come back?
Are you afraid?
No.
Go to the balcony, and you will see us take the Pharos. You must learn to look on battles. Go. That is well. Now, Rufio. March!
Oh, you will not be able to go.
Why? What now?
They are drying up the harbour with buckets. A multitude of soldiers over there. They are dipping up the water.
It is true, the Egyptian army, crawling over the edge of the West Harbour like locusts. Oh, this is your accursed clemency, Caesar. Theodotus has brought them.
I meant him to, Rufio. They've come to put out the fire. The library will keep them busy whilst we seize the lighthouse. Eh?
Come! More foxing!
Goodbye. Goodbye, dear Caesar. Come back safe. Goodbye.
Well, my British Islander, have you been up to the top of the lighthouse?
I have. I reckon it at 200 feet high.
Anybody up there?
One elderly Tyrian to work the crane, and his son, a well-conducted youth of 14.
What? An old man and a boy worked that? 20 men, you mean?
2 only, I assure you. They have counterweights and a machine with boiling water in it, which I don't understand. It is not of British design. They use it to haul up barrels of oil and faggots to burn in the brazier on the roof. Excuse me. I came down because there are messengers coming along the mole from the island. I must see what their business is.
Rufio, this has been a mad expedition. We shall be beaten. I wish I knew how our men are getting on with that barricade across the Great Mole. The Egyptians cannot be such fools as not to storm and swoop down on us before it's finished. It's the first time I've ever run an avoidable risk. I should not have come to Egypt.
An hour ago you were all for victory.
Yes, I was a fool. Rash, Rufio. Boyish.
Boyish? Not a bit of it. Here.
What are these for?
Dates. To eat. That's what's the matter with you. When a man comes to your age, he runs down before his midday meal. Eat and drink, and then have another look at our chances.
My age. Yes, Rufio. I'm an old man. Worn out now. It's true. It's quite true. Achillas is still in his prime. Ptolemy is a boy. Ah, well. Every dog has his day, and I've had mine. I cannot complain. These dates are not bad, Rufio.
Caesar! Caesar!
What now?
Caesar. Our brave Rhodian mariners have captured a treasure. There. Our enemies are delivered into our hands.
And that bag?
This bag contains all the letters which have passed between Pompey's party and the army of occupation here. Well? Well, we shall now know who your foes are. The name of every man who has plotted against you since you crossed the Rubicon may be in those papers, for all we know.
Put them in the fire.
Put them in the fire?
In the fire. Would you have me waste the next 3 years of my life in condemning men who will be my friends when I prove that my friendship is worth more than Pompey?
But your honour, the honour of Rome.
I do not make human sacrifices to my honour as your druids do, and since you will not burn them, at least I can drown them.
But, oh, Caesar, this is mere eccentricity. Are traitors to be allowed to go free for the sake of a paradox?
Caesar, when the islanders finish preaching, call me. I'm going to have a look at that boiling water machine.
Oh, Caesar, if I could but persuade you to regard life seriously as men do in my country.
Do they truly do so, Britannus?
Have you not been there? Have you not seen them? What Briton speaks as you do in your moments of levity? What Briton neglects to attend the services of the sacred grove? What Briton wears clothes of many colours as you do, instead of plain blue as all solid, well-esteemed men should? And these are moral questions with us.
Well, well, my friend, some day I shall settle down and have a blue toga, perhaps. Meanwhile, I must get on as best I can in my flippant Roman way.
Caesar?
What now?
What is this? Who are you? How did you come here?
Calm yourself, my friend. I'm not going to eat you. I have come by boat from Alexandria with precious gifts for Caesar.
From Alexandria?
That is Caesar, sir.
What's the matter now?
Hail, great Caesar. I am Apollodorus, a Sicilian, an artist.
An artist? Why have they admitted this vagabond?
Peace, man. Apollodorus is a famous patrician amateur.
I crave the gentleman's pardon. I understood him to say that he was a professional.
You are welcome, Apollodorus. What is your business?
First, to deliver to you a carpet from the Queen of Queens.
Oh, so you're a carpet merchant.
My friend, I am a patrician.
A patrician, keeping a shop instead of following arms.
I do not keep a shop. Mine is a temple of the arts. I am a worshipper of beauty. My calling is to choose beautiful things for beautiful queens. My motto is art, for art's sake.
That is not the password.
It is a universal password.
Apollodorus, this is no time for playing with presents. Pray you, go back to the Queen and tell her that if all goes well, I shall return to the palace this evening.
Caesar, I cannot return. As I approached the lighthouse, some fool threw a great leathern bag into the sea. It broke the nose of my boat. And I hardly had time to get myself and my charge to the shore before the poor little cockleshell sank.
I am sorry, Apollodorus. The fool shall be rebuked. Well, what have you brought me? The Queen will be hurt if I do not look at it.
Have we time to waste on this trumpery? The Queen is only a child.
Just so, Rufio. That is why we must not disappoint her. What is the present, Apollodorus?
Caesar, it is a Persian carpet, a beauty. And in it are, so I'm told, pigeons' eggs and crystal goblets and fragile, precious things. I dare not for my head have it carried up that narrow ladder from the causeway.
Well, swing it up by the crane, then. We'll send the eggs to the cook, drink our wine from the goblets, and the carpet will make a bed for Caesar.
The crane, Caesar? I have sworn to tender this bale of carpet as I tender my own life.
Then let them swing you up at the same time. And if the chain breaks, you and the pigeon's eggs will perish together.
Is Caesar serious?
His manner is frivolous because he's an Italian, but he means what he says.
Serious or not, he spake well. Give me a squad of soldiers to work the crane.
No, leave the crane to me.
Good. You will presently see me there in the sky, rising like the sun with my treasure.
Are you really going to wait here for this foolery, Caesar?
Why not?
The Egyptians will let you know why not, if they have the sense to make a rush from the shore end of the mole before our barricade is finished. And here we are waiting like children to see a carpet full of pigeons' eggs.
Fear not, my son Rufio. When the first Egyptian takes his first step along the mole, the alarm will sound, and we too will reach the barricade from our end before the Egyptians reach it from their end. We too, Rufio. I, the old man, and you, his biggest boy, and the old man will be there first, so peace. And give me some more dates.
Yeah.
Easy there, stop her! Further round!
Stand up, my friends. Let Caesar see.
Nothing but a heap of shawls. Where are the pigeons' eggs?
Approach Caesar and search for them among the shawls.
Ah! Treachery! Keep back, Caesar! I saw the shawl move. There's something alive there.
It's a serpent.
There Caesar thrust his hand into the sack where the serpent moved.
Treacherous dog!
Peace! Put up your swords. Apollodorus, your serpent seems to breathe very regularly. This is a pretty little snake.
Come on, let's have the rest of you.
Oh, I'm smothered. Oh, Caesar, a man stood on me in the boat, and a great sack of something fell upon me out of the sky. And then the boat sank, and then I was swung up into the air and bumped down.
Well, never mind. Here you are, safe and sound at last.
Aye, and now that she is here, what are we to do with her?
She cannot stay here, Caesar, without the companionship of some matron.
Aren't you glad to see me?
Well, yes, I am very glad. But Rufio is very angry, and Britannus is shocked.
Well, you can have their heads cut off, can you not?
They would not be so useful with their heads cut off as they are now, my seabird.
We shall have to go away presently and cut some of your Egyptians' heads off. How do you like being left here, with the chance of being captured by that little brother of yours, if we are beaten?
But you mustn't leave me alone. Caesar, you will not leave me alone, will you?
What, not when the trumpet sounds and all our lives depend on Caesar's being at the barricade before the Egyptians reach it, eh?
Let them lose their lives. They're only soldiers.
Cleopatra, when that trumpet sounds, we must take every man his life in his hand and throw it in the face of death. And of my soldiers who have trusted me, there is not one whose hand I shall not hold more sacred than your head. Apollodorus, you must take her back to the palace.
Am I a dolphin, Caesar, to cross the seas with young ladies on my back? My boat is sunk. All yours are either at the barricade or have returned to the city. I will hail one if I can. That is all I can do.
It does not matter. I will not go back. Nobody cares for me.
Cleopatra?
You want me to be killed.
My poor child, your life matters little here to anyone but yourself.
Caesar! We are cut off! The Egyptians have landed from the west harbour between us and the barricade.
Curses! Ah, it is true, we are caught like rats in a trap.
Rufio, my men at the barricade are between the sea party and the shore party. I've murdered them.
Aye, that comes of fooling with this girl here.
Look over the parapet, Caesar.
We have looked, my friend. We must defend ourselves here.
I have thrown the ladder into the sea. They cannot get in without it.
Aye, and we cannot get out. Have you thought of that?
Not get out, why not? You have ships in the East Harbour.
The Rhodian galleys are standing in towards us already.
And by what road are we to walk to the galleys, pray?
By the road that leads everywhere, the diamond path of the sun and the moon.
What are you talking about?
I will show you. How far off is the nearest galley?
50 fathoms.
No, they're further off than they seem in this clear air to your British eyes. Nearly a quarter of a mile, Apollodorus.
Good. Defend yourselves here until I send your boat from that galley.
Have you wings, perhaps?
Water wings, soldier. Behold!
Bravo! By
Jupiter, I'll do that too. You are mad. You shall not.
When else can I not swim as well as he?
Can an old fool dive and swim like a young one? He's 25. You're 50.
Oh, Rufio, you forget yourself. I'll race you to the galley for a week's pay, Father Rufio.
But me! What is to become of me?
I'll carry you on my back to the galley like a dolphin. Rufio, when you see me rise to the surface, throw her in. I will answer for her, and then in with you after her, both of you.
No! I shall be drowned.
Caesar, I'm a man and a Briton, not a fish. I must have a boat. I cannot swim.
Neither can I.
Stay here then, Britannus, until I recapture the lighthouse. I will not forget you. Now, Rufio.
You've made up your mind to this folly?
The Egyptians have made it up for me. What else is there to do? And mind where you jump. I do not want to get your 14 stone in the small of my back as I come up. One last word, Caesar. Do not let yourself be seen in the fashionable parts of Alexandria until you have changed your clothes. Ho! Apollodorus!
Oh, let me see. He will be drowned. No,
on,
Rufio.
Britannus.
Oh, Britannus,
One,
let me go.
He's got her. Hold the fort, Britain. Caesar will not forget you.
I will first do so, and then commend myself to my country's gods. The boat has reached him! Hip, hip, hurrah!
Now, can any of you amuse me? Have you any stories? Or any news?
Ftatateeta says that...
Ftatateeta, Ftatateeta, always Ftatateeta. Some new tale to set me against her.
No, this time Ftatateeta has been virtuous. Pothinus has been trying to bribe her to let him speak with you.
Ha! You all sell audiences with me as if I saw whom you please and not whom I please. I should like to know how much of her gold piece that harp girl would have to give up before she leaves the palace.
We can easily find out that for you.
You laugh, but take care, take care. I will find out someday how to make myself served as Caesar is served.
Old hook nose.
Silence! Charmian, do not you be a silly little Egyptian fool. Do you know why I allow you all to chatter impertinently, just as you please, instead of treating you as Ftatateeta would treat you if she were queen?
Because you try to imitate Caesar in everything, and he lets everybody say what they please to him.
No, but because I asked him one day why he did so, and he said, "Let your women talk, and you will learn something from them." "What am I to learn from them?" I said. "What they are," said he. And oh, you should have seen his eye as he said it. You would have curled up, you shallow things. At whom are you laughing? At me or at Caesar?
At Caesar.
If you were not a fool, you would laugh at me, and if you were not a coward, you would not be afraid to tell me so. Ftatateeta, they tell me that Pothinus has offered you a bribe to admit him to my presence.
Now, by my father's God!
Have I not told you not to deny things? You would spend the day calling your father's gods to witness to your virtues if I let you. Go, take the bribe, and bring in Pothinus. Don't answer me, go!
Hey-ho, I wish Caesar were back in Rome.
It will be a bad day for you all when he goes. Oh, if I were not ashamed to let him see that I was as cruel at heart as my father, I would make you repent that speech. Why do you wish him away?
He makes you so terribly prosy and serious and learned and philosophical. It is worse than being religious at our ages.
Cease that endless cackling when you hold your tongues.
Oh, well, well. We must try to live up to Caesar.
Musician?
At peace, girl. The Queen speaks.
I want to learn to play the harp with my own hands. Caesar loves music. Can you teach me?
Oh, assuredly. I, and no one else, can teach the Queen. Have I not discovered the lost method of the ancient Egyptians, who could make a pyramid tremble by touching a bass string? All the other teachers are quacks. I have exposed them repeatedly.
Good. You shall teach me. How long will it take?
Only 4 years. Your Majesty must first become proficient in the philosophy of Pythagoras.
Has she become proficient in the philosophy of Pythagoras?
Oh, she is but a slave. She learns as a dog learns.
Well, then, I will learn as a dog learns, for she plays better than you.
Oh, Majesty.
You shall give me a lesson every day for a fortnight. After that, whenever I strike a false note, you shall be flogged. And if I strike so many that there is no time to flog you, you shall be thrown into the Nile to feed the crocodiles. Give the girl a piece of gold and send them away.
But true art will not be thus forced.
What is this? Answering the Queen, forsooth? Out with you, out with you, out with you. Pothinus craves the ear of the...
There, that will do. Let him come in.
Cleopatra!
Well, Pothinus, what is the latest news from your rebel friends?
I am no friend of rebellion, and a prisoner does not receive news.
You are no more a prisoner than I am, than Caesar is. These 6 months we have been besieged in this palace by my subjects. You are allowed to walk on the beach among the soldiers. Can I go further myself, or can Caesar?
You are but a child, Cleopatra, and do not understand these matters.
I see you do not know the latest news, Pothinus.
And what is that?
That Cleopatra is no longer a child. Oh. Shall I tell you how to grow much older and much, much wiser in one day?
I should prefer to grow wiser without growing older.
Well, go up to the top of the lighthouse and get somebody to take you by the hair and throw you into the sea.
She's right, Pothinus. You will come to the shore with much conceit washed out of you. Begone, all of you. I will speak with Pothinus alone. Drive them out, Ftatateeta. Ftatateeta, what are you waiting for?
It is not meet that the queen remain alone with me.
Must I sacrifice you to your father's gods to teach you that I am Queen of Egypt and not you?
Oh, you are like the rest of them. You want to be what these Romans call a new woman.
Now, Pothinus, why did you bribe Ftatateeta to bring you hither?
Cleopatra, what they tell me is true. You are changed.
Do you speak with Caesar every day for 6 months, and you will be changed?
Oh, it is common talk that you are infatuated with this old man.
Infatuated? What does that mean? Made foolish, is it not? Oh, no, I wish I were.
You wish you were made foolish? How so?
When I was foolish, I did what I liked, except when Ftatateeta beat me. And even then I cheated her, and I did it by stealth. Now that Caesar has made me wise, it is no use my liking or disliking. I do what must be done, and have no time to attend to myself. That is not happiness, but it is greatness. If Caesar were gone, I think I could govern the Egyptians. For what Caesar is to me, I am to the fools around me.
Cleopatra, this may be the vanity of youth.
No, it's not that I am so clever, but that the others are so stupid.
Truly, that is the great secret.
Well, now, tell me what you came to say.
I? Oh, nothing.
Nothing?
Well, at least to beg for my liberty. That is all.
For that you would have knelt to Caesar. No, Pothinus, you came with some plan that depended on Cleopatra being a little nursery kitten. Now that Cleopatra is a queen, the plan is upset.
It is so?
Aha!
Is Cleopatra then a queen, and no longer Caesar's prisoner and slave?
Pothinus, we are all Caesar's slaves, all we in this land of Egypt, whether we will or no, and she who is wise enough to know this will reign when Caesar departs.
You harp on Caesar's departure.
What if I do?
Does he not love you?
Love me? Pothinus, Caesar loves no one. Who are those we love? Only those whom we do not hate. All people are strangers and enemies to us, except those we love. But it is not so with Caesar. He has no hatred in him. He makes friends with everyone, as he does with dogs and children. His kindness to me is a wonder. Neither mother, father, nor nurse have ever taken so much care for me, or thrown open their thoughts to me so freely.
But how can you be sure that he does not love you as men love women?
Because I cannot make him jealous. I have tried.
Perhaps I should have asked then, do you love him?
Can one love a god? Besides, I love another Roman, one whom I saw long before Caesar. No god, but a man. One who can love and hate. One whom I can hurt and who could hurt me.
Does Caesar know this?
Yes.
And he is not angry?
He promises to send him to Egypt to please me.
I do not understand this man.
You understand Caesar? How could you? I do, by instinct.
Your Majesty caused me to be admitted today. What message has the Queen for me?
This. You think that by making my brother king, you will rule in Egypt, because you are his guardian and he is a little silly.
The Queen is pleased to say so.
The Queen is pleased to say this also, that Caesar will eat up you and Achillas and my brother as a cat eats up mice, and that he will put on this land of Egypt as a shepherd puts on his garment, and when he has done that, he will return to Rome and leave Cleopatra here as his viceroy.
That he shall never do. We have 1,000 men to his 10, and we will drive him and his beggarly legions into the sea.
You rant like any common fellow. Go then and marshal your thousands and make haste. For Mithridates of Pergamos is at hand with reinforcements for Caesar. Caesar has held you at bay with 2 legions. We shall see what he will do with 20.
Cleopatra.
Enough. Caesar has spoiled me for talking to weak things like you.
Pothinus?
Let me go forth from this hateful place.
What angers you?
The curse of all the gods of Egypt be upon her. She has sold her country to the Roman that she may buy it back from him with her kisses.
Fool. Did she not tell you that she would have Caesar gone?
You listened?
Oh, I took care that some honest woman should be at hand whilst you were with her.
Now, by the gods.
Enough of your gods. Caesar's gods are all powerful here. It's no use you coming to Cleopatra. You're only an Egyptian. She will not listen to any of our own race. She treats us all as children.
May she perish for it.
May your tongue wither for that wish. Go. Send for Lucius Septimus, the slayer of Pompey. He is a Roman. Maybe she'll listen to him. Be gone!
I know to whom I must go now.
To whom, then?
To a greater Roman than Lucius.
And mark this, mistress. You thought before Caesar came that Egypt should presently be ruled by you and your crew in the name of Cleopatra. I set myself against it.
Aye, that it might be ruled by you and your crew in the name of Ptolemy.
Better me, or even you, than a woman with a Roman heart, and that is what Cleopatra is now become. Whilst I live, mistress, she shall never rule.
So guide yourself accordingly.
The Roman commander will await Caesar here.
Oh, that was a climb. How high have we come?
We're on the palace roof, O beloved of victory.
Oh, good. The beloved of victory has no more stairs to get up. Oh.
Caesar approaches.
Why, Rufio, a new baldric, a new golden pommel to your sword, and you've had your hair cut, but not your beard. Impossible. Yes, perfumed by Jupiter Olympus.
Well, is it to please myself?
No, my son Rufio, but to please me. To celebrate my birthday.
Your birthday. You always have a birthday when there's a pretty girl to be flattered or an ambassador to be conciliated. We had 7 of them in 10 months last year.
It is true, Rufio. I shall never break myself of these petty deceits.
Who's to dine with us, besides Cleopatra?
Apollodorus the Sicilian.
Oh, that popinjay.
Oh, come, the popinjay is an amusing dog. Tells a story, sings a song, and saves us the trouble of flattering the queen. What does she care for old politicians and camp-fed bears like us? No, Apollodorus is good company, Rufio. Good company.
Well, he can swim a bit and fence a bit. He might be worse. If he only knew how to hold his tongue.
The gods forbid he should ever learn. Oh, this military life, this tedious, brutal life of action. That is the worst of us Romans. We are mere doers and drudges, a swarm of bees turned into men. Give me a good talker, one with wit and imagination enough to live without continually doing something.
A nice time we'd have with you when dinner was over. Have you noticed that I am before my time?
Aha. I thought that meant something. What is it?
Pothinus wants to speak to you. I advise you to see him. There is some plotting going on here among the women.
Who is Pothinus?
The fellow with hair like squirrel's fur. The little king's bear leader, whom you kept prisoner.
And has he not escaped?
No.
Why not? Have you been guarding this man instead of watching the enemy? Have I not told you always to let prisoners escape unless there are special orders to the contrary? Are there not enough mouths to be fed without him?
Yes. And if you'd have a little sense and let me cut his throat, you would save his rations. Anyhow, he won't escape. 3 sentries have told him they would put a pylon through him if they saw him again. Well, what more can they do? He prefers to stay and spy on us. So would I, if I had to do with generals subject to fits of clemency.
And so he wants to see me.
Aye, I brought him with me. He's waiting outside under guard.
And you want me to see him?
I don't want anything. I dare say you'll do what you like. Don't put it on me.
Well, let us have him.
Ho there, guard! Release the man and send him up. Come along there, come along.
Ah, Pothinus, you are welcome. And what is the news this afternoon?
Caesar, I come to warn you of the danger and to make you an offer.
Never mind the danger, make the offer.
Never mind the offer, what's the danger?
Caesar, you think that Cleopatra is devoted to you.
My friend, I already know what I think. Come to your offer.
I will deal plainly. I know not by what strange guards you have been enabled to defend a palace and a few yards of beach against a city and an army. Since we cut you off from Lake Mariotis and you dug wells in the salt sea sand and brought up buckets of fresh water from them, we have known that your gods are irresistible and that you are a worker of miracles. I no longer threaten you.
Very handsome of you indeed.
So be it. You are the master. Our gods sent the northwest winds to keep you in our hands, but you have been too strong for them.
Yes, my friend, but what then?
Spit it out, man. What have you to say?
I have to say that you have a traitress in your camp. Cleopatra.
You should have spat it out sooner, you fool. Now it's too late.
What is Pothinus doing here?
Just going to tell me something about you. You shall hear it.
Caesar.
Proceed, Pothinus.
No, Caesar, no.
Well, out with it.
What I have to say is for your ear, Caesar, not the Queen's.
There are means of making you speak. Take care.
Caesar does not employ those means.
My friend, when a man has anything to tell in this world, the difficulty is not to make him tell it, but to prevent him from telling it too often. Let me celebrate my birthday by setting you free.
What?
Farewell. We shall not meet again.
Caesar! This mercy is foolish.
Will you not give me a private audience, Caesar? Your life may depend upon it.
Yes, now we shall have some heroics.
Pothinus, life...
Caesar, the dinner will spoil if you begin preaching your favourite sermon about life and death.
Peace, Rufio. I desire to hear Caesar.
Your Majesty has heard it before. You repeated it to Apollodorus last week, and he thought it was all your own. Oh there, guard! Pass the prisoner out. He's released. Now come on off with you, Pothinus. You've lost your chance.
No, I will speak.
You see, Cleopatra, torture would not have wrung a word from him.
Caesar, you have taught Cleopatra the arts by which the Romans govern the world.
Alas, they cannot even govern themselves. What then?
What then? Are you so besotted with her beauty that you do not see that she is impatient to reign in Egypt alone, and that her heart is set on your departure?
Liar!
What? Protestations? Contradictions?
No, I do not deign to contradict. Let him talk.
From her own lips I have heard it. You are to be her catspaw. You are to tear the crown from her brother's head and set it on her own, delivering us all into her hand, delivering yourself also. And then Caesar can return to Rome or depart through the gate of death, which is surer and nearer.
Well, my friend, and is not this very natural?
Natural? Then you do not resent treachery?
Resent? Oh, thou foolish Egyptian. What have I to do with resentment? Do I resent the wind when it chills me? Or the night when it makes me stumble in the darkness? Shall I resent youth when it turns from age, and ambition when it turns from servitude? To tell me such a story as this is but to tell me that the sun will rise tomorrow.
But it is false! False! I swear it!
It is true, though you swore it 1,000 times, and believed all you swore.
Oh.
Come, Rufio, let us see Pothinus pass the guard. I have a word to say to him. We must give the Queen a moment to recover herself. Come, tell your friends, Pothinus, that they must not think I am opposed to a reasonable settlement of the country's affairs.
No, Caesar, no.
Ftatateeta! Ftatateeta!
Peace, child, be comforted.
Can they hear us?
No, dear heart, no.
Listen to me. If he leaves the palace alive, never see my face again.
He, Pothinus?
Strike his life out as I strike his name from your lips. Dash him down from the wall. Break him on the stones. Kill, kill, kill him.
The dog shall perish.
Fail in this, and you go out from before me forever.
So be it. You shall not see my face until his eyes are darkened. As the light dies, he shall die.
Come soon. Soon.
Caesar! Ah, so you have come back to me, Caesar. I thought you were angry. Welcome, Apollodorus.
Cleopatra grows more womanly beautiful from week to week.
Truth, Apollodorus?
Far, far short of the truth. Friend Rufio threw a pearl into the sea. Caesar fished up a diamond.
Caesar fished up a touch of rheumatism, my friend. Come, to dinner. To dinner!
Yes, to dinner. I have ordered such a dinner for you, Caesar.
Aye? What are we to have?
Peacock's brains.
Peacock's brains. Apollodorus.
Not for me. I prefer nightingale's tongue.
Roast boar, Rufio.
Good.
What shall we serve to whet Caesar's appetite?
What have you got?
Sea hedgehogs, black and white sea acorns, sea nettles, beccaficos, purple shellfish.
Any oysters?
Assuredly.
British oysters?
British oysters, Caesar.
Oysters, then. I have been in Britain, that western land of romance, the last piece of earth on the edge of the ocean that surrounds the world. I went there in search of its famous pearls. The British pearl was a fable, but in searching for it, I found the British oyster.
All posterity will bless you for it. See hedgehogs for me.
Is there nothing solid to begin with?
Field fares with asparagus.
Fattened fowls. Have some fattened fowls, Rufio.
Aye, that will do.
Field fares for me.
Caesar will deign to choose his wine. Sicilian, Lesbian, Chian.
All Greek.
Who would drink Roman wine when he could get Greek? Try the lesbian, Caesar.
Bring me my barley water.
Yeah, bring me my Falernian.
It is waste of time giving you dinners, Caesar. My scullions would not condescend to your diet.
Well, let us try the lesbian. But when I return to Rome, I will make laws against these extravagances. I will even get the laws carried out.
Never mind. Today you are to be like other people. Idle, luxurious, and kind.
Well, for once I will sacrifice my comfort. There.
Ah.
Now, are you satisfied?
And you no longer believe that I long for your departure for Rome?
I no longer believe anything. My brains are asleep. Besides, who knows whether I shall return to Rome?
Oh, hey, what?
What had Rome to show me that I've not seen already? 1 year of Rome is like another, except that I grow older, whilst the crowd in the Appian Way is always the same age.
It's no better here in Egypt. The old men, when they are tired of life, say, "We have seen everything except the source of the Nile."
And why not see that? Cleopatra, will you come with me and track the flood to its cradle in the heart of the regions of mystery? Shall we leave Rome behind us? Rome that has achieved greatness only to learn how greatness destroys nations of men who are not great. Shall I make you a new kingdom and build you a holy city there in the great unknown?
Yes, you shall.
Oh, now you'll conquer Africa with 2 legions before we come to the roast board.
Come, no scoffing. This is a noble scheme. In it, Caesar is no longer merely the conquering soldier, but the creative poet-artist. Let us name the holy city and consecrate it with lesbian wine.
Cleopatra shall name it herself.
It shall be called Caesar's gift to his beloved.
No, something vaster than that. Something universal, like the starry firmament.
Why not simply the cradle of the Nile?
No. The Nile is my ancestor, and he is a god. Oh, I have thought of something. The Nile shall name it himself. Let us call upon him. Before this sphinx, I burn this incense.
What hocus-pocus is this?
You shall see, and it is not hocus-pocus. To do it properly, we should kill something to please him. But perhaps he would answer Caesar without that if we spill some wine to him.
Why not appeal to our hawk-headed friend here, Rowe?
He will hear you and be angry.
The source of the Nile is out of his district, I expect.
No, I will have my city named by nobody but my dear little Sphinx, because it was in its arms that Caesar found me asleep. Now, let us call on the Nile all together.
Propose the conjuration.
You must say with me, "Send us thy voice, Father Nile."
Send us thy voice, Father Nile.
Cleopatra, what was that?
Nothing. They are beating some slave.
Nothing?
A man with a knife in him, I'll swear.
For murder.
Shh! Silence! Did you hear that?
Another cry?
No. A thud. Something fell on the beach.
Something with bones in it, eh?
Hush, Rufio.
Will you leave me, Caesar? Apollodorus, are you going?
Faith, dearest queen, my appetite is gone.
Go down to the courtyard, Apollodorus, and find out what has happened.
Yes, Caesar.
Your soldiers have killed somebody, perhaps. What does it matter?
This must be seen to.
Ftatateeta.
Caesar.
The queen looks again on the face of her servant.
There is some mischief between those two.
Cleopatra, what has happened?
Nothing. Dearest Caesar, nothing. I am innocent. Dear Caesar, are you angry with me? Why do you look at me so? I've been here with you all the time. How can I know what has happened?
That is true.
Of course it is true. You know it is true, Rufio.
I shall know presently. Now, mistress, I shall want you.
My place is with the queen.
She has done no harm.
Let us say, Rufio.
Very well. Then my place is here too.
Rufio, there is a time for obedience.
And there is a time for obstinacy.
Send her away, Cleopatra.
Yes, I will. I will do whatever you ask me, Caesar, always because I love you. Ftatateeta, go away.
The Queen's word is my will. I shall be at hand for the Queen's call.
Remember, Caesar, your bodyguard also is within call.
Why do you allow Rufio to treat you so? You should teach him his place.
Teach him to be my enemy? And to hide his thought from me as you are now hiding yours?
Why do you say that, Caesar? Indeed, I'm not hiding anything. You are wrong to treat me like this. I'm only a child, and you turn into stone because you think someone has been killed. I cannot bear it. But there, I know you hate tears. You shall not be troubled with them. I know you are not angry, but only sad. Only I am so silly. I cannot help being hurt when you speak coldly. Of course, you are quite right. It is dreadful to think of anyone being killed or even hurt. I hope nothing really serious.
What has frightened you into this? What have you done? Ah, that sounds like the answer.
I have not betrayed you, Caesar, I swear.
I know that. I have not trusted you.
In there, Lucius Septimus.
Again, Pompey's murderer.
The town has gone mad, I think. They are for tearing the palace down and driving us into the sea straight away. We laid hold of this renegade and clearing them out of the courtyard.
Release him! What has offended the citizens, Lucius Septimius?
What did you expect, Caesar? Pothinus was a favourite of theirs.
What has happened to Pothinus? I set him free here, not half an hour ago. Did they not pass him out?
Aye, through the gallery arch, 60 feet above ground, with 3 inches of steel in his ribs. What? He is as dead as Pompey. We are quits now as to killing, you and I.
Assassinated our prisoner, our guest, Rufio.
Whoever did it was a wise man and a friend of yours. But none of us had handed it, so it's no use to frown at me.
He was slain by order of the Queen of Egypt. I am not Julius Caesar the dreamer who allows every slave to insult him. Rufio has said I did well. Now the others shall judge me too. This Pothinus sought to make me conspire with him to betray Caesar to Achillas and Ptolemy. I refused, and he cursed me and came privily to Caesar to accuse me of his own treachery. I caught him in the act, and he insulted me, the queen, to my face. Caesar would not avenge me. He spoke him fair and set him free. Was I right to avenge myself? Speak, Lucius.
I do not gainsay it, but you will get little thanks from Caesar for it.
Speak, Apollodorus. Was I wrong?
I have only one word of blame, most beautiful. You should have called upon me, your knight, and in fair duel I should have slain the slanderer.
I will be judged by your very slave, Caesar. Britannus, speak. Was I wrong?
Were treachery, falsehood, and disloyalty left unpunished, society must become like an arena full of wild beasts, tearing one another to pieces. Caesar is in the wrong. And so the verdict is against me, it seems.
Listen to me, Caesar. If one man in all Alexandria can be found to say that I did wrong, I swear to have myself crucified on the door of the palace by my own slaves.
If one man in all the world can be found, now or forever, to know that you did wrong, that man will either have to conquer the world as I have, or be crucified by it. You hear? These knockers at your gates are also believers in vengeance and in stabbing. You have slain their leader. It is right that they shall slay you. If you doubt it, ask your 4 counselors there. And then in the name of that right, shall I not slay them for murdering their queen, and be slain in my turn by their countrymen as the invader of their fatherland? Can Rome do less then than slay these slayers too, to show the world how Rome avenges her sons and her honour, and so to the end of history murder shall breed murder, always in the name of right and honour and peace, until the gods are tired of blood and create a race that can understand. Hearken, you who must not be insulted. Go near enough to catch their words. You will find them bitterer than the tongue of Pothinus. Let the Queen of Egypt now give her orders for vengeance and take her measures for defence, for she has renounced Caesar.
You will not desert me, Caesar. You will defend the palace.
You have taken the powers of life and death upon you. I am only a dreamer.
But they will kill me.
And why not?
Pity.
Pity? What? Has it come to this so suddenly that nothing can save you now but pity? Did it say, Pothinus?
Caesar, enough of preaching. The enemy is at the gate.
Aye! And what has held him baffled at the gate all these months? Was it my folly as you deem it, or your wisdom? In this Egyptian Red Sea of blood, whose hand has held all your heads above the waves?
And yet when Caesar says to such an one, friend, go free, you cling for your little life to my sword, dare steal out and stab him in the back. And you, soldiers, gentlemen, honest servants as you forget that you are, applaud this assassination and say Caesar is in the wrong. By the gods, I'm tempted to open my hand and let you all sink into the flood.
But Caesar, if you do, you will perish yourself.
Now, by great Jove, you filthy little Egyptian rat! That is the very word to make him walk out alone into the city and leave us here to be cut to pieces. Caesar, will you desert us because we are a parcel of fools? I mean no harm by killing. I do it as a dog kills a cat, by instinct. We're all dogs at your heels, but we have served you faithfully.
Alas, Rufio, my son. As dogs we are like to perish now in the streets.
Caesar, what you say has an Olympian ring in it. It must be right, for it is fine art. But I am still on the side of Cleopatra. If we must die, she shall not want the devotion of a man's heart, nor the strength of a man's arm.
But I don't want to die.
Oh, ignoble.
Hearken to me, Caesar. It may be ignoble, but I also mean to live as long as I can.
Well, my friend Lucius, you are likely to outlive Caesar.
Does Caesar despair?
He who has never hoped can never despair. Caesar, in good or bad fortune, looks his fate in the face.
Look it in the face, then, and it will smile as it always has on Caesar.
Do you presume to encourage me?
I offer you my services. I will change sides if you will have me.
What? At this point?
At this point.
Do you suppose Caesar is mad to trust you?
I do not ask him to trust me until he is victorious. I ask for my life and for a command in Caesar's army. And since Caesar is a fair dealer, I will pay in advance.
Pay? How?
With a piece of good news for you.
What news?
What news? What news did you say, my son Rufio? The relief has arrived. What other news remains for us? Is it not so, Lucius Septimus? Mithridates of Pergamos is on the march.
He has taken Pelusium.
Ah, Rufio!
Caesar!
Lucius Septimus, you are henceforth my officer. Rufio, the Egyptians must have sent every soldier from the city to prevent Mithridates crossing the Nile. There is nothing in the streets now but mob.
It is so.
Mob!
Mithridates is marching by the great road to Memphis to cross above the delta. Achillas will fight him there.
Achillas shall fight Caesar there. Look, see, Rufio, all of you, here. Here is the palace. Here is the theatre. You take 20 men and pretend to go by that street. And whilst they're stoning you, out go the whole host by this and this. My streets are right? Are they not, Lucius?
That is the fig market.
I saw them the day we arrived. Good. Away, Britannus. Tell Petronius that within an hour, half our forces must take ship for the western lake. See to my horse and armour.
Caesar!
With the rest, I shall march round the lake and up the Nile to meet Mithridates. Away, Lucius, and give the word. Apollodorus!
Caesar!
Lend me your sword and your right arm for this campaign.
Aye, and my heart and life to boot.
I accept both. I'm ready for work.
Ready for art. The art of war!
Come, this is something like business.
This is not my only son. Do you understand about the streets, Rufio?
I think I do. I will get through them at all events.
Come then. We must talk to the troops and hearten them. You down to the beach. I to the courtyard.
Caesar!
Eh?
Have you forgotten me?
Ah, I'm busy now, my child, busy. When I return, your affairs shall be settled. Farewell, and be good and patient.
That game is played and lost, Cleopatra. The woman always gets the worst of it.
Go. Follow your master.
A word first. Tell your executioner that if Pothinus had been properly killed in the throat, he would not have called out. Your man bungled his work.
How do you know it was a man?
It was not you. You were with us when it happened. Ftatateeta! Was it she? With her own hand?
Whoever it was, let my enemies beware of her. Look to it, Rufio. You who dare make the Queen of Egypt a fool before Caesar.
I will look to it, Cleopatra.
Ftatateeta! Ftatateeta! It is dark and I'm alone. Come to me. Ftatateeta! Ftatateeta! Blood. Oh. Ftatateeta.
The Queen looks again on the face of her servant.
Pass Apollodorus, the Sicilian there.
Pass Apollodorus. Is Caesar at hand?
Not yet, Belzano. He's still in the marketplace. After half an hour of the enthusiasm of an army, one feels a need of a little fresh air.
Tell us the news. Have he slain the priests?
Not he, Persian. They met him in the marketplace with ashes on their heads and their gods in their hands. They placed the gods at his feet. The only one that was worth looking at was Apis, a miracle of gold and ivory work. By my advice, he offered the chief priest 2 talents for it.
Apis the all-knowing for 2 talents? What said the chief priest?
He invoked the mercy of Apis and asked for 5.
There will be famine and tempest in the land for this.
Why did not Apis cause Caesar to be vanquished by Achillas? Any fresh news from the war, Apollodorus?
The little King Ptolemy was drowned.
Drowned? How?
With the rest of them. Caesar attacked them from 3 sides at once and swept them into the Nile. Ptolemy's barge sank.
A marvelous man, this Caesar. Will he come soon, do you think?
He was settling the Jewish question when I left.
He has made short work of that, and here he comes.
Ho there! Caesar comes!
From there, Caesar comes!
Caesar comes!
Well, Rufio, I see my ship awaits me. The hour of Caesar's farewell to Egypt has arrived. Now, Rufio, what remains to be done before I go?
You have not yet appointed a Roman governor for this province.
What say you to Mithridates of Pergamos, my reliever and rescuer, the great son of Jupiter?
Why, that you'll want him elsewhere. Do you forget that you have some 3 or 4 armies to conquer on your way home?
Indeed. Well, what say you to yourself?
I? A governor? What are you dreaming of? Do you not know that I am only the son of a freedman?
Has not Caesar called you his son? Peace a while, and hear me.
Hear Caesar!
Hear the service, quality, rank, and name of the Roman governor. By service, Caesar's shield. By quality, Caesar's friend. By rank, a Roman soldier. By name, Rufio!
I am Caesar's shield. But of what use shall I be when I am no longer on Caesar's arm? Well, no matter.
Where is that British islander of mine? Here, Caesar. Who bade you, pray, thrust yourself into the battle of the Delta, uttering the barbarous cries of your native land, and affirming yourself a match for any 4 of the Egyptians to whom you applied unseemly epithets? Caesar, I ask you to excuse the language that escaped me in the heat of the moment. Oh, and how did you, who cannot swim, cross the canal with us when we stormed the camp? Caesar, I clung to the tail of your horse. These are not the deeds of a slave, Britannicus, but of a free man. Caesar, I was born free. But they call you Caesar's slave. Only as Caesar's slave have I found real freedom. Well said. Ungrateful that I am, I was about to set you free. But now I will not part from you for 1,000,000 talents.
Apollodorus, I leave the art of Egypt in your charge. Remember, Rome loves art and will encourage it ungrudgingly.
I understand, Caesar. Rome will produce no art itself, but it will buy up and take away whatever the other nations produce.
What? Rome produce no art? Is peace not an art? Is war not an art? Is government not an art? Is civilization not an art? All these we give you in exchange for a few ornaments. You will have the best of the bargain. And now, Rufio, what else have I to do before I embark? There is something I cannot remember. Well, what can it be? Well, it must remain undone. We must not waste this favourable wind. Farewell, Rufio.
Caesar, I am loath to let you go to Rome without your shield. There are too many daggers there.
It matters not. I shall finish my life's work on my way back, and then I shall have lived long enough. Besides, I've always disliked the idea of dying. I'd much rather be killed. Farewell.
Farewell.
Farewell, Apollodorus.
Caesar.
And my friends, all of you. Aboard!
Has Cleopatra no part in this leave-taking?
I knew there was something. Now, how could you let me forget her, Rufio? Oh, had I gone without seeing you, I should never have forgiven myself. Cleopatra, is this mourning for me?
No.
Oh, that was thoughtless of me. It's for your brother.
No.
For whom, then?
Ask the Roman governor whom you have left us.
Rufio?
Yes, Rufio. He who is to rule here in Caesar's way, according to Caesar's boasted laws of life.
He is to rule as he can, Cleopatra. He has taken the work upon him and will do it in his own way.
Not in your way, then?
What do you mean by that?
Without punishment, without revenge, without judgment.
Aye, that is the right way, the great way, the only possible way in the end. Believe it, Rufio, if you can.
Why, I do believe it, Caesar. You have convinced me of it long ago. But look, you are sailing for Numidia today. Now tell me, if you meet a hungry lion there, you will not punish it for wanting to eat you.
No.
Nor revenge upon it the blood of those it has already eaten.
No.
Nor judge it for its guiltiness.
No.
What then will you do to save your life from it?
Kill it, man, without malice, just as it would kill me. What does this parable of the lion mean?
My Cleopatra had a tigress that killed men at her bidding. I thought she might bid it kill you someday. Well, had I not been Caesar's pupil, what pious things might I not have done to that tigress? I might have punished it. I might have revenged Pothinus on it.
Pothinus?
I might have judged it. But I put all these follies behind me. And without malice, only cut its throat. And that is why Cleopatra comes to you in mourning.
He has shed the blood of my servant Ftatateeta. On your head be it as upon his, Caesar, if you hold him free of it.
On my head be it then, for it was well done. Come, Cleopatra. Do not be angry with me. I'm sorry for that poor Ftatateeta. You're laughing. Does that mean reconciliation?
No, no, no! But it's so ridiculous to hear you call her Ftatateeta.
What? As much a child as ever, Cleopatra? Have I not made a woman of you after all?
Oh, it is you who are a great baby. You make me seem silly because you will not behave seriously. But you have treated me badly, and I do not forgive you.
Bid me farewell.
I will not.
I will send you a beautiful present from Rome.
Beauty from Rome to Egypt, indeed. What can Rome give me that Egypt cannot give me?
That is true, Caesar. If the present is to be really beautiful, I shall have to buy it for you in Alexandria.
You're forgetting the treasures for which Rome is most famous, my friend. You cannot buy them in Alexandria.
What are they, Caesar?
Her sons. Come, Cleopatra. Forgive me and bid me farewell. And I will send you a man, Roman from head to heel, and Roman of the noblest. Not old and ripe for the knife, not lean in the arms and cold in the heart, not hiding a bald head under his conqueror's laurels, not stoop with the weight of the world on his shoulders, but brisk and fresh, strong and young, hoping in the morning, fighting in the day, and reveling in the evening. Will you take such an one in exchange for Caesar?
His name! His name!
Shall it be Mark Antony?
Oh, Caesar!
Caesar!
You're a bad hand at the bargain, mistress, if you'll swap Caesar for Antony.
So now you are satisfied.
You will not forget.
I will not forget. Farewell. I do not think we shall meet again. Farewell. Farewell!
No tears, dearest queen. They stab your servant to the heart. He will return someday.
Oh, I do hope not. But I can't help crying. All the same.
In that production of Caesar and Cleopatra by Bernard Shaw, Caesar was played by Alan Badel and Cleopatra by Sarah Badel. Ftatateeta was played by Beatrix Lehmann, Pothinus by Peter Woodthorpe, Theodotus by Alan Dudley, Ptolemy by Judy Bennett, Achillas by Paul Gaymon, and Lucius Septimus by Alan Rowe. Rufio was played by Hector Ross, Britannus by Nigel Lambert, Apollodorus by Sandor Eles, Iris by Emily Richard, Charmian by Eva Haddon, the Centurion by Anthony Smee, the Persian and the Major Domo by Peter Whitman, and the God Ra by David March. The music was composed and conducted by Terence Allbright and played by Skylar Kanga, harp, Alan Tomlinson, trombone, Michael Laird and Peter Reeve, trumpets, and John Royston Mitchell, percussion. Technical assistance was given by Peter Novis, Janet Mitchell, and Enid Clues. Caesar and Cleopatra was produced by Ian Cottrell.